What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Black Funeral, entitled Scourge of Lamashtu. This is released on Iron Bonehead Productions. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Spring, Texas, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very traditional, occult, Luciferian style of black metal. Yeah. Over the last several years, Black Funeral has been on somewhat of a comeback trail, and that trail has been nothing short of hot in recent years. Of course, if you know Black Funeral, you know this is the main project of one Michael W. Ford. He has been the long-running mainstay behind this project, whether it be vocals, lyrics, music, what have you. He has been the long-running guy behind this project. And of course, Black Funeral has had its fair share of very, very awesome musical releases, whether it be the early demo material or the first couple of full-lengths like Vampire, Throne of the Beast, or Empire of Blood. Two very, very awesome albums in their own right, and of course some solid material soon after that. But then in 2016, this project got somewhat of a revival and a rebooting of some sorts with the addition of one Asgore into the band. Of course, if you know Asgore, you know that's the guy from Drowning Light. He is a very prolific black metal musician in his own respective rights, and I feel that him joining Black Funeral made this project 10 times better than I feel it already was. And of course we got the first glimpse of this new pact and union with 2016's Anku and the Deathfire. That was an absolutely fantastic album. It definitely had a flair of every musical influence that both of these guys knew how to have. Really fantastic album. And then the last time we had heard something from them was back in 2018 with the EP The Dust and Darkness. Very solid stuff, and pretty much a continuation of what we had heard from them previously. But now Black Funeral are back with a brand new full-length, Scourge of Lamashtu. It's 7 tracks, and it clocks in at around 38 minutes in length, and pretty much if you are familiarized with their previous works under this new sort of sound with Anku and the Deathfire and The Dust and Darkness, then I feel you're going to be right at home with how this album gets things done and how it gets things accomplished. And I think this is another really solid entry into the modern Black Funeral sound, and I think it's worth repeated listens over and over again. I mean, from the opening ambience of the track Kasaptu Lemutu to songs like the vampiric Rabisu at the Threshold, the title track, Pazuzu, King of the Lilu Demons. I mean, there's just a lot to take in here with how this album is structured and how everything gets accomplished. From the dark ambient sorts of sounds you hear at the beginnings and intros of certain tracks to the beginning guitar playing, I think it's just very well structured musically. And there's a lot to take in musically. There's some really, really awesome guitar playing being done on this record. A lot of very high tier, memorable sorts of guitar riffs to be heard throughout this entire album. I think it's really, really awesome to listen to. Really, really great riff work, great bass tones. I think this is a very well-balanced sort of mixture of the two. Asgore, if I'm not mistaken, does play guitar and bass on this record, and I think he does a phenomenal job with said guitar and bass work. The drumming on here is very, very awesome. Like the previous Black Funeral releases, I believe the same guy is behind the drum kit once again, an unnamed spirit. Pretty much the only member of this project with some sort of shroud of secrecy behind it. But this drummer is fantastic. I love how raw and unbridled his drum performance is, from the blast beats to the mid-paced parts to the slower-paced parts. It's just very, very awesome stuff to listen to, and I think this drummer does an amazing job, like he has done with previous Black Funeral releases, done in his own sort of style and sort of way. like I said previously, I think that the ambience and the keyboards and the interludes and stuff that precede some of these songs are so awesome. And I definitely think it adds to that more mystic sort of side of Black Funeral sound. And I think it makes things all the more interesting and all the more creepier, so to speak. And when it comes to the vocals, of course, Akita, Michael W. Ford, whatever you want to refer to him as, he does some tremendous vocal work here. He definitely commands your attention. A lot of pain in his voice, a lot of anguish, a lot of torment, and he does so with such fervor and such zest. I really love this vocal performance going on here. You definitely want to pay attention to everything he's talking about, regardless of what the concept is or what's going on here. There's just a lot to take in with this vocal performance, and I think it's really awesome. So overall, I think this is another really awesome entry into the Black Funeral discography as far as their current works are concerned. I don't know if I like this more than I did Ankroo and the Deathfire, but I definitely would say that this is another really awesome album to listen to. Like I said, I think Asgore joining Black Funeral is the best thing that's happened to this band, and hopefully there will be more great stuff like this to come from them in the future. So if you're into Black Funeral, if you're into their current sort of lineup, I really think you're going to love this new full-length album. It's really fantastic black metal, really worth paying attention to. So if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say the Vampiric Rabisu at the Threshold, Nergal, Lord Who Prowls by Night is another really good one, the title track, Grimhole, Bloodthirst of the Dead. Some really top quality stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Iron Bonehead Productions Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it, buy it digitally, and it is available physically as a CD and 12-inch vinyl. If you live overseas, you can purchase it through Iron Bonehead. If you happen to live in the United States, keep an eye and ear out for Dark Descent or Nuclear War Now Productions as they stock Iron Bonehead stuff in the United States. And speaking of which, this is the vinyl version that I'm going to show you right here. Very badass artwork, top quality stuff as per usual with Iron Bonehead Productions. There you see the front cover artwork. Back cover here with track listings. There you see Mr. Akita right there. Gatefold with credits. Little lyric passage as to what the concept of things is about here as far as this album is concerned. Really top quality stuff. And I think all the copies come on a standard black vinyl. Yeah, really nice stuff. Side A, Side B. Really like this one a lot. But yeah, great quality. If you're able to come across it physically, I would highly recommend you secure yourself a copy some way, somehow. So, again, the album is Scourge of Lamashtu by Black Funeral. This is released on Iron Bonehead Productions. Go check this one out. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Very top quality Black Funeral record. If you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Black Funeral releases. Or any of you guys into Black Funeral, definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until next time, Army Hell out.